What?
Hi!
Where did you come from?
Do you mind if I join you today?
Is that a portal or something? No, I don't mind at all.
Yes, I can
Wow.
time travel. It's one of the powers of being a watercolor artist.
You gotta teach me that.
Okay. Hey everybody, I have a challenge for us today. Welcome Steve Mitchell. Actually, he's welcomed me into his studio today and I'm so excited to be here. Today we're going to do something super fun. So Steve, you are the master of painting trees.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody knows Steve Mitchell paints the best trees, and I thought, wouldn't it be super fun if we painted trees together? Now, these trees are gonna have characteristics, we'll say.
Okay.
Rita,
Yes.
will you do us the honor of explaining the rules of the game today?
I would be very happy
Okay.
to do that with Reese's help. Reese, would you please help us explain the rules to Emily and Steve? All right. So what they're going to do is draw a tree based upon an adjective that's given to them. Now we need to have some good descriptive adjectives. We will take a look and see which one has a tree that best exemplifies that adjective. Is that right? Okay.
I'm so excited.
Well, would you please help us come up with some adjectives? Do you have some thoughts on this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you. All right. All right. Let's see if we can get to those thoughts.
What's in his head?
Oh, he has lots of thoughts in his head. All right. So if
I've
you
always
don't,
wanted to know.
if
what's
you
in
don't
Reese's
mind,
head.
Reese,
He's a bonehead.
I'm getting a bit personal here, but all right. So we'll come up with one. I know you've thought of a lot.
Hope
They
it's a good
don't know
one.
what it's going to be. So terrified.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll do that one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Emily
All
does
right.
terrified. All right. Let's see what we've got for Steve. Come up with a good one. Petite.
Okay.
Do a petite.
I like it.
Okay.
I got an
right.
idea.
Thank you so much.
right.
We
Petite.
appreciate
Now,
that.
do we have a time cap?
30 minutes. They have only 30 minutes.
Okay.
I think I can do that. Can you do
Yeah,
that?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll make it work.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Rita and
You're
Reese,
welcome.
for
All right,
explaining
Reese.
the rules.
Let me put your thinking cap back on you.
He doesn't think.
Pay no attention to that man.
Really quick, before we get into the tree painting challenge, if you're not already subscribed to Steve's channel, The Mind of Watercolor, make sure to head right over there after watching this video and show him some love by subscribing. And while you're there, you can watch our collab video all about plein air painting at the Biltmore Estate.
All right, you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Timer starts now. You've never painted a tree before.
Well, somebody here rarely paints trees.
I'm getting cocky, I know. Okay, so are you starting with a drawing?
Nope.
Or are you're going in with paint?
I'm going directly in.
That is gutsy.
You know, that's how us pros do it.
Hey,
Actually, that's not true.
terrified tree.
That's not true. I just fibbed.
All right. I'm imagining a tree that's getting held up by the cops, and he knows he's innocent, but he's had a couple of run-ins in the past, and he's a little bit worried that he's going to get dragged out by his roots.
Well, a petite tree
Uh-huh.
could be proud of it or maybe self-conscious of it.
Oh,
And
which
I'm going
one?
to play the self-conscious angle.
I like that. Yeah. So I have a lot of experience being petite. So if you have any questions,
so tell me.
Uh,
Tell me about it.
well, I tell
Are
you
you
what.
terrified?
Being petite can be very frustrating.
Ah,
When you're trying to get to the top shelf, you have to rely on a lot of other
Sure.
tall people for stuff.
mm-hmm.
It's also very hard to find pants that are the right length.
I get that.
So self-conscious, yeah. I think that's a good angle to take for your petite tree. I think my tree, he's going to be all over the place. He doesn't know which direction to run.
And he's probably terrified of things that normal people wouldn't be bothered by.
Like what?
What?
Like
Anything.
raccoons.
Reese is afraid of squirrels.
You know, this is gradually evolving into a tree form of that famous painting, The Scream. I didn't intend for it to be like this, but it's starting to look that way. 25 minutes. We're good.
Yeah.
We are so good. I think we have plenty of time to add color and just really bring this thing.
I'm already there.
Stop. Slow down
Hey,
for us
You
beginners.
thought you were fast. I can be fast. I can be fast.
Which direction would your feet be going if you were terrified?
All I can think of is the cartoons. It's like, exit stage right.
Oh, good idea. You can have one random root jutting out ready to escape.
Yeah.
So, do you have another character in your petite tree storyline? Perhaps something that makes it feel insecure that's not so petite?
Well, petite is traditionally thought of as a feminine word, but maybe some guy or guy tree who was called petite and he didn't like it.
Did you hear all that scribbling?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sound of me screaming.
What are you terrified of?
Good question. Failure. And I'm feeling close to it today. Could happen at any minute now. Has there ever been anything in your life that made you feel petite?
Emotionally.
Ooh.
Maybe not physically. I'm pretty average size-wise. I mean, I've been next to, well, two of my son-in-laws are 6'5",
Whoa.
both of them. So I don't really feel petite. I just feel like they're tall.
Yeah, you're not short. So.
No, I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
That's pretty average.
Hmm.
Whenever I look at great painters, when we did the interview, James Gurney,
Yeah.
I felt artistically scrawny. Because I consider him like
Oh, I feel
an
that.
art god, so to speak.
You know, Steve, that's how I feel when I look at your tree paintings.
No. Well, it's kind of you to say, but I am no James Gurney.
Gurney is amazing.
All the Dinotopia?
Yeah, I
Oh
used
my
to get that
goodness.
book out at the library when I was a kid.
And his plein air is so effortless.
And any medium, too.
Yeah.
He can paint with anything.
And he's just so, he sits there and draws it in, and he's just so like, this is good, this is fine, it's gonna turn out.
Yeah, such confidence. Well, something we can both aspire to, right?
Yeah. There's a good descriptor of petite.
Oh.
I felt like my career was pretty nothing. It did what it needed to do. It supported my family. I aspired to all these great designers and clients, and it's like, it doesn't matter anymore, but once upon a time.
That's really interesting that a career could feel petite. Something that you
I never
wished
thought
you
of
could grow and
putting
it
that
didn't.
word to it. But.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Thank you, Rita.
Welcome.
Okay,
Time
are
for
you...
refreshments.
Wait a minute, is this a subversive effort?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Did you remember to lace that cookie with...
Wow, this is
Did
more.
I say that out loud?
I'm having so much fun with my terrified tree. You did some cartooning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. When I was 10.
I'm not really...
I used to have a cartoon strip that was called Pokey Pony.
Really?
I was obsessed with horses, and this horse was unhappy on the farm. He wanted to run away and join a herd of Mustangs. Thought that would be way better.
One of the biggest periods I felt like of development for me was I knew a group of illustrators, friends of mine. We tried to start an animation company.
Really?
It didn't work out for various reasons, but one of the two of the guys in there were incredible cartoonists. One of them actually started his career doing cartoons for Mother Earth News.
Oh my
which was
goodness.
a magazine. But that group taught me so much. I mean, it's just hanging around, doing nothing but chewing the fat, talking about famous or favorite illustrators.
And they help you see what makes those illustrations great in
Yeah.
a different way than maybe you never thought about, right?
Yes, and they talk about things in everyday terms, that it's common to them, and you're like, you don't want to admit that, you didn't know half that stuff.
That's how I feel about my art group in Denver.
Yeah.
I paint with a figure group in Denver on Wednesday nights,
Okay.
and two of the greatest artists, Kwang Ho and Dan Sprigg, head up this group.
Ah.
And they are masters at composition. They live and breathe pure composition. Subject matter doesn't even matter. And I'd never heard that before, that it doesn't matter what you paint. It's all about the shapes.
Yes.
And so now I'm
Yes.
starting to think that way more and more. Even though I'm not, taking lessons from them or any of that, it just gets under your skin.
It's
You
one of
start
those.
picking it up.
It's one of those concepts that once you get it, it's pretty easy to understand, but it just takes artists a long time to get to fully, absorb that
Yeah.
idea.
I wish I could peek at yours.
Well, you wouldn't see much yet.
Oh, well, we only have 15 minutes
I
left.
know.
Are you
I'm
terrified?
pacing myself secretly. Yes.
I'm
No,
sweating so bad right now.
I know.
The pressure.
I thought I gave up all this pressure.
Just a moment. I'll help you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. She's being abusive, dear.
Oh, wow. That would be a good word for a tree. Maybe not. I don't like that word at all. We had a whole bunch of good ones in that hat, I tell you what.
Yeah.
There was, my favorite one was chubby. Was hoping one of us would get that one. But wasn't in the cards today. Okay,
A chubby tree.
I'm doing color.
Go for it.
What color is a terrifying tree? When you're
That's a good
scared,
question. That is a really good question.
it's like the blood drains from your
Go
face.
blue. Like you.
Bluish white.
Yeah,
Whitish
bluish,
blue.
whitish, grayish.
Okay. And we need some sweat tears coming down. It's the kind that I'm feeling right now. Negative paint around those little droplets.
Phase 1 is done. On to phase 2.
You sound really confident.
I have an idea that is, for me, very doable and simple.
That's really good. How does one simplify?
Petite.
Maybe practice once in a while.
No, we don't practice. Practice is for watercolor wusses.
Well, what do you do?
I practice.
Oh.
Ergo, I am a watercolor wuss.
I
No.
call it play. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're playing. Ooh. Bloodshot eyes.
Okay, sure.
My tree has eyes. Is that too much I'm giving away?
Nope, my trees will not have eyes.
Well, how are you going to do the expression?
I'm not. There's multiple ways of expression.
That is true. Gesture?
Mm.
Gesture.
Mm.
I don't think you necessarily have to have the thing that the thing is reacting to in the picture.
No, you don't. You just have to know that it's terrified.
Oh, I've got an idea. I think my tree needs to have a shadow of something on it.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You know who I get that from?
Mm-mm.
Dancebrick.
Oh,
In so many of his paintings, he has
a shadow of something?
shadows of things that are off the composition.
Oh, that's cool.
And it gives this sense of mystery, and it keeps you thinking about the painting, even off the page, off the canvas.
Mm-hmm. I love any kind of cast shadows in
Yeah.
painting. They add so much life, I think.
You can pull it off.
Yeah, if you can find the right, environment for it.
This is the most fun I've had painting in a really long time.
Oh my.
Kool-Aid.
You're a distraction, you know that?
Kool-Aid.
Thank you.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Thank you.
What's in this? Okay, you're drinking it, so it's safe, right?
Maybe a psychedelic. Maybe give us
Oh.
ideas.
This Reese's recipe didn't end well for him.
No.
Hey, does Reese have a backstory?
He does.
Really?
Yes. Okay, I bought him at Michael's, late 80s.
It's like the pet store.
Yeah, 87, 88. He was on an end cap on sale, and I thought, why not? Every artist needs a portrait anatomy model or a skull. That's
Yeah.
what he is. He has higher aspirations, but he's just an anatomy model.
What are his higher aspirations?
Oh, he wants to be in Hamlet. He
Uh,
wants to do things that he never really actually
what all
tries to do.
the famous skulls do.
Yeah. So I bought him, put him together. Actually, that group I was telling you about, illustrators group, we had little animation desks. These were separate from my normal studio. He sat on that because I was more likely to use him there. But for years, I used him. He's been in every studio I've had since
Oh.
the late 80s, sitting somewhere on a shelf.
I love that.
So when I started this channel, I thought, oh, it might be fun to put him in the videos. One of the things that I kind of included in my brand, if you will, was that I would be more of a tips and techniques person. Like somebody wandered off the street
Yeah.
and just walked into my studio like a neighbor, kind of like you're doing
Yeah.
now, and we just chat. We trade ideas, and so
That was your original vision for your channel?
yes. And by and large, I've tried to stick with that vibe. You know, I get into more distinct tutorials, but what that was a reaction to was these channels that just are so stuffy and take themselves so seriously.
Oh,
And
we are
just-
not doing that today.
we are definitely not. And I think you know the kind I mean. It's
Yeah.
like they talk to the camera like.
Oh, you mean like
know,
the first video I ever made? Wasn't it like that?
Yeah, the first video I made.
Yeah.
Even with that brand idea, I still did it.
It's easy to be stuffy when you
Yeah.
are nervous.
But they were all these, the type I'm talking about, they were long. They included far too much, you know, they would not keep your attention. And I thought, I wanted it to be more lighthearted.
That's so great.
And
And that really holds like that.
yeah.
It obviously connects with a lot of people.
So Reese was a way, and the reason I began so many videos, introduced so many videos with really, really corny humor. Just cringe corny humor sometimes.
Dad jokes.
Yeah. Some of them are not even worthy of dad jokes. But, is just to keep myself from taking myself too seriously.
Love
That
that.
was the whole idea.
It works. Reese is a great addition to your channel.
And so his name, my daughter went with a group to Hershey, Pennsylvania. And they came back, and she brought me back a Reese's hat. It's my favorite candy.
That's perfect.
And so I thought, oh, this is great. And I have a bunch of hats of all different kinds, sports, all different places I've been. I thought, well, no, that's going to be in my studio. And I thought, Reese makes a perfect hat stand. So it was sort of like Frosty the Snowman. You know, you put the hat
Yeah.
on Reese, and
If the hat
he
fits.
came. I immediately named him Reese, and that's the end of the story.
Oh, it's great. I need a mascot for my channel, I think.
Sure.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes.
I know.
Ah!
I'm pretty jazzed about mine. It's in keeping with the way I paint.
This is very cartoony.
I know what I'm gonna have to do too. I'm gonna have to go in maybe up the side vertically. I'm gonna have to letter petite at some future point.
Okay. Are we allowed to mess with it afterwards?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, once the painting's done,
Right.
you know.
we make the rules here.
Yes. So is there all kinds of terrified energy going on over there?
Oh, it's honestly, I'm screwing this up and it's conflicting energy right now because there's like this happy green, but the expression is really terrified, but the green is too happy, and I need to figure out how to make it less happy. And I don't know how to do that. So I'm freaking out because I have three and a half minutes.
He's pleasingly terrified.
No, he's not pleased. He's not pleased, but his whole environment makes you question, why in the world is he terrified? Because there's nothing terrifying here. The shadow's helping, but I need to... Ooh. Oh, this is problem solving here. Real quick.
It's fun.
I don't have time.
Essentially done. I'm just
You're done?
yeah. I'm just like fiddling now.
Oh no.
Fiddling and fussing.
You see me for it.
You're terrified. I can see it in your face.
I mean, it's not terrible, but just wasn't quite my vision that I was hoping for. So, you know how that is.
Yes. Yes.
You can do this.
Go. 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 Go, Emily. Go, Emily. Go, Emily.
I don't need a cheerleader, Steve.
Good.
2 minutes.
Woo.
You're just polishing and refining.
I
and
am.
I'm like,
I'm making it a masterpiece. I'm making it a masterpiece.
this is where I start just going like that. Stop acting so confident.
No. When you see what I did, you'll understand. I had it so easy, but yet it works.
You are the master. I'm not going to concede yet,
You
though.
just keep thinking that
I will
way.
not concede defeat. This isn't over yet.
All right.
Okay. To make the light make sense, the tree has to have a shadow too, doesn't he? Forgot
Whatever.
about the law of
Whatever you think.
light and shadow. That's better. Still would like to know what is going on here. We will let the audience decide what made this tree so terrified. That makes the best paintings, right? When they come to their own conclusions and tell their own stories. And
What's it say? Oh,
that's time.
we're done.
Here we go.
Terrified. Oh, good.
Let me see yours.
Petite.
Oh, that's awesome. That's phenomenal.
No, that's really good though. That's really good. I like the shadow.
Does it? I mean, can you tell that there's
Yes.
a story here?
Yes.
Yes.
The blue didn't quite work out.
It doesn't
It
matter.
looks like he
It's
has a disease in the eye.
That's so cute. No, it
That's
works.
good.
It works.
So tell me about your composition.
I wanted to make sure that the little tree was very clearly seen, and there was a very definite scale comparison. I mean, I wanted to be able to get that right off. So it was very simple. It's just
Yeah.
like big, massive, tiny.
Did this pop in your head as soon as you saw that word, petite? Or did
Mostly.
it develop?
Mostly. I thought of a little tree next to a big tree, but as I was doing it, I thought of the branches holding hands because I wanted to connect them. I didn't want it just to be a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
I wanted there to be personality somehow.
Oh, there's so much.
I had the little tree looking up at the height,
That's fantastic.
and that's the way I wanted to connect it.
So beautifully rendered. And of course,
Oh, thank you.
Steve Mitchell and trees. You just do those so well. The bark, the shadow, the washes at the top. It's like one of your gorgeous spontaneous paintings.
Well,
But this
thank
little
you.
guy, I mean, just
Thank
so
you.
good.
All right, well, so what about yours? Tell me what you were thinking.
Well, I immediately envisioned this cringing shape, this tree that's trying to get away from something, and its whole
shrinking back.
yeah,
and-
the whole body language is like, I need to run, but of course it's a tree, so it's rooted to the ground. So there's this resistance right here. But I was just picturing something off of the composition that's scaring it to death.
I really like the background too, because that seems kind of creepy. Like that might actually be part of this.
Yeah.
You know, kind of encroaching on.
Well, that's
it.
what I whipped in the last 1 minute that we had, and I was freaking out.
You were getting frantic there, yeah.
Starting to scrub on the paper. But yeah, I didn't know what this was actually. We'll leave that to the viewers to decide because
It works. I see a shadow.
Yeah.
And then the hands clarify it.
Creepy
And there's
little
shadow
hands.
back there that helps. But I love the mouth. Like
That was
you
my
said, the
favorite part.
scream.
the famous painting. Yeah, but you can see I need to practice my foliage. That's my weakness.
Oh, but it's background. That's cool though.
That was so much fun. Steve, thank you so much for doing this super fun painting project with me today. I
Very
had a blast.
welcome. I loved it. This was a great idea. Her idea. And we discussed it over lunch and I loved it. It was so much fun.
And thank you for having me in your studio and showing me all of your amazing artwork. It's just
Very
been
welcome.
so much fun hanging out with you and Rita this week.
You're very welcome. Glad to have you.
Bye, everyone.